course, Ember gave us all quite the scare on Monday. Through no fault of her own, she lied down in her stall. She rolled over and got her legs stuck in the back of her stall. They're pipe rails, which I actually really hate. But, however, she was stuck there overnight until we woke up and my friend came to feed the horses and knocked on my door and said, Ember's down and I can't get her up. So me and a bunch of volunteers and other people that work here at the sanctuary all tried our very best to get her up, and nothing was helping because she was exhausted. Her muscles were totally cramped up and she could hardly move. And she was so stressed out. So we called the vet. The vet did all she could and still not good enough. Ember started having seizures. She'd been down for so long, her entire body was cold to the touch. And the vet said she'd never seen such bad blood pressure. So it was not looking good. I was sobbing, crying. I think everybody had tears at some point because obviously we love the girl. We want her to stay with us for as long as you want to, Angel. And we brought Tater up, in case that could give her just a little extra encouragement and energy. But nothing was working. And the vet said, you know what? I don't want to guarantee you this because I'm not sure, but I think the fire department, our two local fire departments, Great and Sebastopol, have a program that can help get horses up. And so I was like, I have to try anything. So I called them and I asked them and they're like, yep, we'll be there in 15 minutes. And so the fire trucks came right to the sanctuary and 12 fire people showed up and they got her on a sled. They put a harness around her. They put a protective helmet on her. You can see in, one of our last videos. And they were able to drag her out to an opening where they'd set up a 20-foot tall tripod. And this tripod hooked onto the harness that was on her, strapped all around, and it lifted her into the air, all the men pulling on this rope that was attached to the top of the tripod and then down to the harness that was on her. So it picked her up off the ground, and then we were able to massage her legs and started to get her moving on her own. At first, she did not put any of her own weight on her legs. It was still not looking good. She could have had permanent nerve damage. We weren't really sure what was going on, and I was not willing to give up. So she wasn't willing to give up. That's the truth. She kept trying, and as long as she's trying, I'm trying. Oh, what's up? And she did finally use her own legs to support herself, and she said, I want to go get that green grass right now. And she basically dragged me around for 5 hours while I was just like, Amber, thank you. Thank you for staying. Thank you, Angel. And she was very happy to be back with her boyfriend, Tater, here. Tater arrived, I think exactly 3 weeks ago today. He was 300 pounds underweight. I'm happy to say, I think he's put on about 50 pounds, maybe a little more. It's a slow process, you guys. Give him another 3 weeks and he's gonna look a lot better. Unfortunately, he came with a skin fungus, which has been treated. It is not contagious, so we're not worried about that. However, his skin is extremely dry due to the treatment, and the fur did fall out pretty badly. And it's probably going to continue to fall out a little bit more. But then you're gonna grow this beautiful, shiny summer coat. It's gonna be like chrome, honey. It's gonna be so gorgeous. And in the meantime, he is eating as much as he possibly can, and let me tell you, that is a lot. He eats like 16 scoops of grain a day. He has no front upper teeth. And so what was happening with him is his former owner was feeding him hay that he couldn't actually get the nutrition from because he couldn't chew it. So he was just getting skinnier and skinnier over 2 years' time, and the owner thought, well, I think this is, just his time, and that's how old horses look. But one of my friends spotted him and said, you know what, I know someone who's really, really good at fattening up animals. Yes, that is my purpose in life. And so I've got him here. He's on rehabilitation, and it's a miracle because Ember here hates, absolutely hate She does not want to be around anyone, mostly because of her mobility issues. So she came with extreme arthritis in her front knees, and she's got a broken pelvis probably from her previous life, which was very bad and very sad and traumatic. And so, she can't really defend herself. She can't kick. So she doesn't like other horses because she's just very offensive. But then she met Tater and she was like, you know what? This man is such a gentleman. He's so sweet and kind that I'm just not afraid of him at all. And Tater has been very loving and doting on Ember. He never pushes her around. He doesn't even steal her grain, even though she's a very slow eater and he is literally starved. Oh, sorry, Angel. So he is such a special guy. They were meant to be together. I think that's one of the reasons Ember pulled through so many crazy things on Monday. And then, of course, Tuesday morning, I found her down again, but obviously did not put her back in the stall, and she will never go back into a stall. And so she was out here, and it was very easy to just help her up. Just my boyfriend and I, with just her lead rope. One thing that we did, which I want everybody to know, that really helps if you've got a horse that's having a hard time getting up. She would try and get up, but didn't quite have the momentum, and she was so sore from the previous day that her little muscles were still shaking. She's a lot better now. So what we did is one of the times when she tried to get up, we shoved a hay bale on her side so that she didn't have to keep using her muscles to try and hoist herself up. So we gave her that support. She was able to rest, propped up against the hay bale. Then I pulled on her halter and my boyfriend helped her by pushing her up on her side, and she was able to get up. Again, her legs were kind of numb, so she was like wobbly and her hooves were all over the place, but she did it. And it only took a few minutes, so that was really good. We also, so this is one thing that's really helpful. The reason she couldn't get up on her own, obviously exhaustion and soreness from the previous day. Also, she had lied down in a way that it was ever so slightly at an angle with her legs facing uphill, just ever so slightly. And the ground was quite soft, so she sunk into the ground, creating even more of a divot. So what we did is we took a couple shovels and we dug on the side where her back was, and we dug down where when we flipped her over, we knew her legs would end up in that area. So we dug down about a foot so that when we flipped her over, she had the mechanical advantage of having her legs kind of under her already. And then it was very easy for her to get up. I just pulled on her halter, my boyfriend gave her a little support here, and that was all she needed to get up. And she is going to get stronger and happier and healthier every day. She's on a whole lot of supplements, which are very expensive. So I am here to humbly beg you for support in both Tater's recovery, Ember's recovery. I have 5 other lifelong horses that will spend their entire lives with me at the sanctuary. They're all special needs. It's a very expensive operation I've got going, and I could really use your help with some donations. So if you are comfortably able to do so, you can go to www.heartofgoldsanctuary.org and make a direct donation straight to the sanctuary. If you're looking for a little bang for your buck, you know what I mean. I am online under Dainty Rascal. You can Google search me, or you can go to daintyrascaldancing.com. You will find everything you've ever been looking for and so much more. There's riding the horses in things like this, out of things like this. Not these horses, they don't get ridden, but lots of hiking adventures in the nude and fun lap dances and all sorts of crazy wild stuff that you would never guess a sweet little lady like me can get up to. So anyways, that's the story. That's how we are funded. Of course, we would love to just have some donations, would be so helpful. Our vet is Katati Large Animal Clinic. If you wanted to just anonymously call them up and say, hey, can I pay Heart of Gold's emergency bills?